What's good, everybody? It is the Big Time Sports Podcast, and I'm your host, Perci Garner. And we got a returning guest, and I'm excited. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. Hopefully, this don't go for an hour and a half. It's a Friday night. We're recording. But I just want to, thank you guys all for the support, both on the Facebook and YouTube page. Make sure you keep it tuned on our YouTube page for all the live streams. If you like volleyball, all those things, they'll be coming around the corner, later. But right now it's basketball season, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the NFL as well today. But the most important things are the main reason is, it's a new class for 2026 for the Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame. And it's exciting stuff. It's a long list. And hopefully our guest today can school me up on some of the people, just because we were talking a little bit before we started recording of how of a historian he is. So we're going to have to put him to the test, because I know I was looking through the list and I was like, I don't know. I don't know a lot of these, but I'm intrigued. And there's some teams as well being involved. And then also a big foundation here that gives to a lot of organizations and a lot of good causes. So a lot of things to look forward to. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome my guest. How many times? I think you only been on the show once. Okay, we'll just say, returning guest, which we're going to try to get him in, maybe 2-3 times, a year. So we'll try to get him in. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome Frank Polen. How we doing, Frank?
Mr. Perci, always a pleasure to be here without question. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, ever since I saw you speak at the Leaders of Tomorrow thing, because I never saw you speak, we have our conversation.
Sure.
But I never seen you speak in that arena, and I was like, dang, that's dope. Frank is energetic, and he's really into this, and I love that. So
appreciate that.
Yeah. After that, I was like, I got to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it. We've chewed a lot of the same turf, even though you're a lot younger than I am. But
keep reminding people that I'm young.
Absolutely.
I'm young.
Percy's real young. I coached against you. I think I said it last time, unbelievable screener and rebounder.
There we go.
And I think Coach told you one time, Coach Von Cannell said, now remember, Percy, further from the basket, closer to the bench. I think I remember that.
I don't know if he said it exactly like that, maybe paraphrased a little bit, but no, that was definitely true.
Yeah,
I think I got a couple up, and he gave me that look like, come on now.
Come on, Coach, heat check.
Yeah. Oh man, but see, this is why I love having you on the show.
Love it.
But like I said, we're going to be talking about Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame. Last episode I talked about parents and Dan Orlovsky's take on how he does with his children, and I kind of want to get your take on that. And then basketball. We're going to get into the basketball shot clock for high school here in Ohio. And I know right now it's not like a rule. You can do it. It's not, but I just want to get your take on that as well. And then we'll quickly go into NFL coaches and the changes in, specifically our division here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, I'm excited to get to the show. And first, I guess I had talked about this, and I think I spoke with Adam Hall and another gentleman about high school basketball and the shot clock. And, I've been to some games this year where I'm just like, dang, that'd be nice to have a shot clock. But
right.
I feel like a lot of people are like me, where you don't think of every angle, pros, cons, what how it could change your team's, makeup, and you never know. Right. So for those who may be not thinking deep about this, let's get your take on specifically Ohio high school basketball having a shot clock.
Well, obviously, and Adam, I heard your podcast. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Being someone who got the ability or had the fortunate position to be able to play in college, that was my first experience with it. Very rarely did it ever come into play. And if you watch games around here, very rarely does it come into play. Maybe late clock situations, things along that lines. But Percy, where I think it is, one, you've played for a coach that I loved when Coach Von Cannell would always say, we do have a shot clock. It was 8 minutes long, but you had one. And there's a lot of truth to that. Yeah. But I want kids to have the freedom to play. But I think the bigger change, and it impacts the shot clock, because if you look back in the annuals and you start looking at scores previous to shot clock, previous to the three-point line, teams were scoring 60s, 70s, 80s. I was fortunate we played on a team in high school, just short of 70 points a game.
Dang.
They didn't have shot clock. The skill level is what's really changed the game more than the shot clock.
Yeah.
It could be just we're just going to speed up bad basketball.
True.
Because now all of a sudden I'm going to get, we break it down. There's so much trickle down from NBA to college to high school, okay? And the thing that matters, everything then turns into now a two-man game, a pick and roll or whatever it may be, okay? And that's late clock. Now, that's going to be, how many kids have you seen that can be able to break someone down and really finish at the goal here in the last 10 years consistently?
I mean, you can count them on one hand that I've seen.
So shot clock, I mean, I would think, and I think Adam had stats. I mean, they had tracked the stats. I don't think it's going to change the game where it's going to improve it. I don't think it's necessarily going to hurt it, but it's going to happen. Most don't hold it more than 30, 35 seconds anyway. A lot of them, even the pro ball, they'll super glue it and hold it for 15 seconds and then rush a bad shot.
For sure.
But I think it's inevitable. I think more than anything, Percy, I think the physicality of the game has taken away from a skilled game. And basketball was a skilled game. The way it's called, and that's, like I said, that's a direct trickle down. I'm not attacking referees in any way.
Yeah.
As a coach, I wanted to be physical. I wanted to hit cutters. I wanted to do all those things. I wanted to be able to, hip check or ride people, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But in reality, I would have loved to play today in terms of defense because I'd fouled out a lot, Percy, believe it or not. But as far as the shot clock, I think the teams that always executed will always execute. And I think the best player at the end of the game will make the plays, and we've seen plenty of examples of that.
It's March, baby, and Simpson Heating and Cooling is bringing the heat. And the shot is up. The shot is up. You call that a shot? Why don't we get somebody to teach these guys about the game of hoops?
What do you think, Coach?
So I thought you said these guys were all-stars.
They are a lot more professional here in their installation. Check out this installation. He's got one turn. He makes two turns. Wow! Sweet banana. We have got a full installation.
Now I see what you meant when you were talking about all-stars. These guys know what they're doing.
Somebody call for an all-star?
When madness hits your home, choose Simpson.
Since 1988, Wood Electric has been your hometown electrical contractor of choice. Trusted for top-quality commercial, industrial, and residential electrical work. From new construction to repairs, we do it all. And we do it right the first time. And when the unexpected hits, we're here with 24-hour emergency service. Because the lights won't wait. Call Wood Electric today, where experience meets reliability. Wired right, right on time, every time.
Scammers are always looking for their next target, but you don't have to be one of them. With BBB Scam Tracker, powered by the Better Business Bureau, in partnership with Amazon and Capital One, you can easily report and look up scams, and it's free to use. Learn about scams, get tips on how to avoid them, sign up for alerts, and more. Visit bbb.org/scam tracker and help put scammers out of business.
Yeah. I guess I'm just interested to see, what coaches decide to do the 2-for-1s. Or the new 3-for-1s that I've seen.
I've seen that. And I think maybe another impact that may have a different is that people kind of ignored is the reset of the fouls. Every quarter, once you get to 5 fouls now, you're shooting 2.
True.
Okay. You used to be the 1-on-1, and they talked about lengthening the game. But I've seen a couple times this season, local high schools looking up at the clock, under a minute or so to play, a team may be holding the ball. They're only sitting there with 1 or 2 team fouls. They'll sub some kids in to go ahead and take some fouls so you can't run a set play to execute at the end of the quarter. Big thing is to score at the end of the quarter. Maybe you're coming out with a possession and you double down on it, right?
Yeah.
So the opportunity to take those fouls, they got to take it side out of bounds again, maybe take another foul, let them take 5 seconds off because they want to get the last one.
Yeah.
That, to me, may be more of a game change than even the shot clock.
Yeah.
Just a food for thought on that. I've seen high school kids or teams, coaches, obviously coach that this year locally.
Really? See, that's
Take
all
the
the
foul.
stuff that
Take the foul. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting because, a lot of people don't know those things. And I love basketball,
Yeah.
but still I never got to the, the level of every little thing
Right,
and all the
right.
details. I just knew what I had to do and I was going to execute. But
And the other side of it is you're going to go shoot 2. A kid's mentality is different shooting 2 versus the 1-and-1.
yeah,
Because boy, I go up there to 1-and-1. Oh, if I short arm this, I'm not getting. I got a chance on the 2.
True.
So I think that changes, and I think they're trying to. They say to speed up the game, so we're going to throw the shot clock in there to speed up the game. We're going to do this free throw thing to speed up the game. How about we develop some skill to pretty up the game?
yeah, that's. I mean, I feel like a lot of sports are doing this, even at
No
the
doubt.
professional level, trying to speed it up, especially baseball.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah,
but-
you're right though with the clock and everything
Yeah,
because I don't know, for some reason, I don't know if it's technology that they blame it everything on.
It's everybody's attention span. Is
We
just
want it
not-
now. We want it quick. Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Just some thoughts
Yeah,
to get us started.
Yeah, and I think that was good. That was good. It's definitely giving me something to think about because some of that stuff I don't think about on a regular basis. So pretty interesting. Coming from a coach.
Yeah.
But next, so obviously everyone in AFC North, well, I say everyone should have been fired. No, I'm just. But we saw Tomlin get fired. We saw. Stefanski, we saw Harbaugh, which was, two of those were
Right.
surprises.
No question.
And I guess the other surprise is Zach Taylor didn't. But I forget, what is your allegiance? Are you Browns, Bengals?
I'm a Browns guy. So
Okay.
you're Steelers, if I'm not mistaken.
yep.
We've got some good conversation here.
Yes. So
I've suffered a lot longer than you, but Percy.
yeah. But also, so today during the Guardians preview party, Bobby DiBiasio was talking about how terrible it is to just be middle of the pack. And he was talking about revenue sharing and everything.
Sure,
but,
sure.
That's what the Steelers have been. We haven't been Super Bowl threats, but we're not getting good draft picks. We're just right in that middle. So
Love Mike Tomlin. I think he's a great leader of men. But boy, my buddies that are Steelers fans they said I'm tired of mediocre Mike.
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy, I mean he's really.
Yeah.
I mean I'd take him as something maybe defense or something in Cleveland.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I didn't want him fired,
Right.
but
Need a change.
yeah, and he obviously recognized that since he stepped down and wasn't fired. And I think he understood like this is a great situation. We had success, but it's not either he needed a break or it wasn't. It was just time for him to say, you know what, I'm gonna let the organization move on. And then the quick I want to tie that to as well is Bobby D brought up is how Tito Francona did that for the Guardians. He didn't tell him in November, hey, I'm not coaching. He told him in June, July. So it gave them time. And obviously that helped them because now they got a 2-time manager of the year. So I think it's, Tomlin was smart about it, didn't waste no time. Boom. As soon as the game was over, next day came in, hey.
What is he, the 4th coach in the history of the Steelers, though?
Yeah,
right?
something crazy.
Something like that?
Because I know Bill, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy.
mean, Chuck Noll, obviously
Those
Cowher,
are only 3 I know
Cowher,
is Tomlin, Cowher, and Noll.
Okay, then the third. And
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, that's probably why it's a great franchise.
Yeah.
And that hurts me to say that as a Browns guy. But they're just one of the ones that have seemingly done it right for a long time.
Yeah, now we'll have to see what Mike McCarthy's about. So
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, I'm not mad, but I'm also not like, yeah. So, but I do want to, you about to?
Yeah, no, go ahead, because I got a great question for you on that.
Okay,
When you're done.
No. I was moving on.
Okay, well, so Steelers got their new hire.
Yes.
Yeah, you just mentioned McCarthy. Browns get their new hire, which was assistant at Baltimore.
Yeah, Monken, yeah.
Okay, so, and then Ohio State, let's throw them in there real quick, hires the
Our
former offensive coordinator from Pittsburgh. Now, I'm going to challenge you with who had the best and or maybe worst hire of those 3? Because I'm looking, Cleveland, you're supposed to have this great defense, offense, we need some more threats, and we bring in a head coach from a team that scores about 8 points a game or whatever it may be. We beat, right? Okay? Pittsburgh, they go with a guy that, maybe had some success, whatever it may be. But then you go to Ohio State, you take, Arthur Smith, I think?
Yes.
So he's a ground and pound guy.
Yeah.
And you go to Ohio State, and you got a locker room of Ferraris, right? Those receivers. And I know Ohio State, one of the knocks sometimes they get is it maybe a little bit of toughness. They're not as tough as they once
Yeah.
were running the ball.
Yeah.
They hadn't been able to run it against the team up north a couple times.
For sure.
So of those three, what's the best or worst hire, Percy? Based on that and the logic. And that I may be
I'm
off.
just gonna go worst, and I think Ohio State, because for me, when you have all those athletes and you have all the talent, not that you shouldn't run the ball, and we ran the ball well when we won a national championship in 15 with old Zeke, but I don't know, like if you watch. And I don't have anything against Arthur Smith.
No, amen.
And he hasn't really, he had 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, and I feel like he didn't really have the best opportunity at Pittsburgh. But that's might also why he left. He's like, well, let's go to Ohio State. But in my mind, I guess I'm always looking for an exciting hire, which isn't always great. You look at Michigan with Rich Rodriguez.
Right.
He was a big name, but it didn't work out. But for me, I'm gonna go with I don't know if Ohio State should have went with Arthur Smith. And part of me is because I still wanted them, but
but
I don't think
they didn't score a lot of points. I mean, that's just so it'll be interesting how this all matriculates.
Yeah,
I'm hoping the Browns. Listen, Mr. Faulkner, Matt Faulkner, you know Mr. Faulkner. He and I think we've got to share a little responsibility in their last playoff. We went to the game when they clinched against the Jets a couple years ago.
Oh,
I think that may have been the reason the Browns got in the playoffs.
All right, so you're trying to take credit. I see it.
Thinking about selling your car? Make it fun at Ferris Chevy Toyota. We buy all cars, any truck, any SUV, and we pay top dollar, even if you don't buy from us. It's fast, easy, and yes, car buying is fun at Ferris. Visit us on the Wabash in New Philadelphia or start online at ferrischevytoyota.com. Ferris Chevy Toyota on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
With Bell Store's Bell Buddy Rewards, you save in-store and at the pump. New members receive 20 cents off per gallon as a welcome gift. Everyday savings are made easy. Instantly enjoy 3 cents off per gallon just for being a member. When you spend $25 in store, unlock an extra 5 cents off per gallon on your next fill-up. Buy 5, get 1 free. Track your drinks and earn free coffee, fountain, icy, and espresso with drink clubs. So start saving today. Download the Bell Stores app and sign up for Bell Buddy Rewards.
The American Professional Truck Driving School by Buckeye Career Center offers hands-on CDL training and expert-led classroom instruction to prepare you for success. Already trained elsewhere? No problem. Complete testing on-site at U.S. America's CDL Test Center by Buckeye Career Center. Register for training or to take your CDL test by calling today. Get the skills, get certified, get on the road with Buckeye Career Center.
Now, do you think Stefanski, it was time?
Probably just because the noise had gotten so much that no matter what he did was not going to be effective. But boy, and I don't know if Northeast Ohio and the Browns are going to be listening. We need a talent. We've got a talent problem on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, we had our best receiver was Judy. I'll just say our best receiver is Judy. That's a better way of saying that we didn't have a great threats out there.
What you got on the QB, the leader?
Well, that'll be interesting. Pro Bowl, huh? I mean, the Brown. I mean, so what did we win? 5 games this year, and we had 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks. But you know what? Did better than what I thought he would. Thrown into what he was thrown into because he's not a running quarterback. He can't scramble. The line was, very much deteriorated, and he can sling it though, Percy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing. So
that kind of surprised me. I didn't know because the reports came out about his arm strength.
Boy, oh boy!
But
I mean,
I don't know if I believe those reports now.
Yeah. Well, I heard a guy say the other day, and it may have been. I shouldn't say I heard a guy. I think it may have been Nick Saban.
Okay.
Honestly, he was talking on a show and he addressed about, when they're ranking 4 stars, 5 stars. Many times it's guys that are ranking them that never played. So who's determining those stars? Obviously he held his own. I think the guys that even the veterans seem to come to like him, and what's another name on the back of the shirt?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got now like 26 on that quarterback shirt for the Browns. Those guys wear those to the stadium with all those different starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, and I will say, as a Steelers fan, I was watching Browns games once he became the starter.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was interested.
Well, it gave something, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, even when they played the Steelers, I was just like, you know, I wanted the Steelers to win. But at the same time, I was like, all right, come on, Shador. Like, you know, and then when he threw that one, because I feel like a lot of his interceptions weren't his fault, but he threw some ugly ones.
That's right, yeah.
I was like, they showed his coach or his dad Prime up in the booth, like, no.
Sure. And let's be honest, that to me, I mean, that's got to be tough. I mean, you see it with Bronny James.
Yeah.
And, you know, just living up to that. There's very few of those players that were all pro, very few, right? All pro, all world, whatever, because they had grown up putting in the work, whatever it may be. Now became millionaires, just an incredible lifestyle, wanted like us to have our kids to have it better than what we did.
For sure.
Well, sometimes when we do that, their work ethic is not quite as good, but their name is still James or Sanders. So we're going to probably lean towards picking them or having them be a part of our squad, and maybe their name is better than their talent.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to live up to. So I hope, you know, if Dion can get himself real busy at Colorado, because they need some players and need to get a lot better, and then maybe he can develop into his own leader, own man, and own pro.
It kind of seemed like they were doing that now. When, like, once he became the starter, they were kind of – I know his brother came to a game, but
I agree.
he was just kind of but, you know, LeBron's doing it a different way.
Yeah,
but that's maybe another episode.
Yeah, but you see, my point being that there's a lot of, you know, expectations.
Yep.
And, boy, the boo birds can come really early in those regards, or, you know, you're not this person or you're not that person. You're not as good as your dad or – I think that'd be pretty tough pretty quick.
Yeah, and so we'll see how they can handle it mentally, and a lot of stuff going on. But those are fun conversations to have, you know, because we were probably going to have it anyway. So and it's good to have the camera here. But okay, let's get to the meat and potatoes.
Yeah,
the Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame 2026 class. Because wasn't it just the end of October? Did you guys have your? When was or is it in June? I can't remember.
The
actual ceremony for 2025.
Oh, yeah, that was we do it every 2 years.
Oh, okay.
So it was 2024, believe it or not.
I'm getting you guys mixed up with Dover. So.
Yeah, no, it's okay. and you know, Mike Gunther, our representative, does a great job for Dover Hall of Fame as well, and he's Dover's rep. But yeah, we do this every 2 years. So this will be the third class that will be inaugurated, already been named, but will be inaugurated June 20th, 2026.
Okay.
And we'll do that at Buckeye Career Center again.
All right. June 20th, 2026.
Yes.
So this will be class of 2026. And before we go to, you know, a lot of the people that are going to be inducted in June, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes.
No question.
And, you know, that's why you're here. And we want to, you know, bring recognition, but also just, you know, talk about the people who, you know, I know Tom Farbizo was a big part of it,
absolutely.
and kind of, you know, bringing the team together. But can you talk about the people who were involved with the Tuscarawas County Sports Hall?
I sure can. So each of our Tuscarawas County schools districts have a representative. I'm fortunate enough, I serve as Indian Valley's representative. Tom Farbizo, you mentioned, he's our president, but he serves as New Philadelphia's, yes. Connie Evans is our vice president / secretary, and she's a member at large. Jim Carruthers, he serves Claymont. Mike Gunther, that I mentioned, served Dover. He had served Indian Valley because he's an alum of Indian Valley South. A changeover there. He moved to Dover. They asked if I'd be interested in doing the Indian Valley side, so I certainly said yes. Dave Shutt from Garraway Schools, Randy Addy, Newcomerstown, Terry Straub, Strasburg, Bob O'Donnell is from TCC, and he's also our treasurer. Amy Burrier is the Tuscarawas Valley, Tusky Valley rep, and then we also have Hank Keithley. Hank is our media at-large representative, and Jim Gill, who's our ad hoc from the Dover Public Library System, and he had been our secretary, but Connie's going to take over for that. but a great crew, from more recent graduates to people who had participated in their homeschool athletics, to community members, board members, longtime coaches. It's a lot of fun. It's a great learning experience when we meet every time to go through the process.
Searching for the quality of a nationally recognized Medicare Advantage plan, but seeking the personalized care and service of a local, familiar face? Primetime Health Plan is a top-performing plan with competitive benefits available right here in your community. Whether you call or meet us in person, our local team will be there to help you find quality coverage and care close to home. Call us today or visit us online at www.pthp.com to learn about our 2024 plans.
Hi, I'm James here at 705 South Tuscarawas Avenue in Dover, Ohio at New Image Auto Sales. Wait a second, is this supposed to rain today? Come with me inside our massive indoor showroom because Ohio weather is so unpredictable. You can check out all our nice pre-owned vehicles inside our indoor showroom. And every car comes with a lifetime warranty and is priced at or below KBB retail. And every vehicle comes inspected prior to hitting the showroom floor so that you know exactly what you're getting. And our inventory is moving so fast. Scan the QR code to see what's available right now. Don't see what you like? Check back tomorrow. Look, car buying doesn't have to suck. Stop in here at New Image Auto Sales year-round, where we have an indoor showroom, climate-controlled, that's been family-owned and operated since 2019, where you can find your next luxury pre-owned vehicle. So scan the QR code or check out our website to see today's inventory. I'll see you soon.
Beaver Constructors is a full-service general contractor delivering top-notch commercial construction management, general contracting, and design-build services across Ohio. We prioritize doing things the right way, ensuring the highest quality in every project from critical infrastructure to facility improvements. Beaver Excavating excels in heavy civil contracting for commercial, industrial, and transportation sectors. We believe in making a positive impact through community involvement and client satisfaction.
Yeah, I mean, you guys do a good job. I've heard good things. I always make it to the previews you guys put on too every year for football and basketball. So it's well done, and I think it makes sense. And I'm glad that it is, that we got this underway, because I feel like, if you would have kept waiting, I'm just glad that you guys were able to pull it together and get it going. So now we have hey, Tuscarawas County Sports is something to be, proud about, and I'm glad we have it. So.
And boy, you're exactly right. So the inaugural class was a lot of teams. They did at Dover, the new auditorium at Dover, they did the teams and then members that had been deceased at that time. And to hear some of the stories and some of the legendary names, when you're talking Cy Young, you're talking Woody Hayes, and I've heard recent as of the last year, we have people that are in National Hall of Fames. Coach Huggins had gone into the National Basketball Hall of Fame, is at this banquet. He said, this is pretty cool. I'm going into Tuscarawas County. And we're like, you're in the National Basketball Hall of Fame. Eldon Miller, guys like that. I mean, just incredible stories. The lady that had played in the League of Their Own. I mean, she played in that. And you hear this history, unbelievable. And it's so neat to be able to honor, to be able to pay homage and respect and hear those stories. And the best part is of that, we do recordings, we film it all so it can live in infamy on either the YouTube, and we have a website that they're all listed there. And you can see any of the past recipients in their bios. It's really well done. And this is my first kind of full year on the committee. But, man, so well done, Percy.
Yeah, we'll have to make sure we include the link down below, because I know I was on the Facebook page, and that's how I got linked to the people that were actually being inducted in 2026. So, but that's exciting. I know there's, I think, people that I'm going to be, nominating, my hero, Colby, number 10. That's why I wore number 10.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's already been nominated, but
Well, that's the neat thing. So that's how we can get people into the hall, right? Yeah. They have to be nominated. Anybody can nominate. You mentioned about the Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame website. The applications are on there, and sometimes we get the application. Maybe there's some limited information, and we go to work on it. I spent a lot of time, because I'm the Indian Valley rep, so there's some Indian Valley names on there, and I spent a lot of time trying to find more information on them to solidify, to try to make a decision of, hey, who would be the great representative of the Indian Valley District, and each of our representatives do that.
Yeah, I can't imagine. That seems like a lot of work.
It is, but man, it's
fun.
fun. It is. And if you've been grown up in sports, and sports are important and a defining character moment in your life, and you learn all these different things about them, and you hear, the neat thing is when you're hearing the stories from the other, like, so I hear something from Terry at Strasburg, and you hear something like, wow, I didn't know that, or whatever. It's just really neat. But we rely on nominations from anybody, okay? And once they're in there, they go in the book, and there's requirements, whether it be age, all state, all these different things. But then they're there, and we keep working on them. And just because you may not make it in this time doesn't mean you won't make it in the next. And so certainly I encourage people to nominate their athletes.
Yeah, instead of the people that are like, well, hey, how come so-and-so isn't? I mean, how many times do you hear that?
Oh,
so you guys got to nominate them,
Absolutely.
So I encourage you guys to do that. But that's exciting. So we talked about, June 20th, 2026, when it's going down at Buckeye. And Buckeye, it's a great facility. Obviously, we have the Dover Philly Sportsmanship Banquet there, and it's top notch. And I've heard nothing but good things. And but no, it's pretty exciting, being a Hall of Fame inductee. And I know people from the Hall of Fames that I've went to and the Tuscarawas County one, people come back and they do a good job. And even if they're not like someone who, like Kobe, he's not really like a speaker.
Yeah.
But and seeing, stuff like that, it's fun to hear their take and their point of view. And not everybody has like that speech where they're, calling out all the naysayers, but
right.
But,
And to that point, another really neat thing is some of our committee members and many of us have gone to either other counties and seen their Hall of Fame in action, maybe a college Hall of Fame or whatever it may be, and we've had people say to us how well it is done. And that's the committee. Tom really started this whole thing and wanted to do it the right way. We've actually had other. I know recently Claymont High School just started a Hall of Fame, Sports Hall of Fame.
Yep.
And one of the first people they reached out to, talking to, is Tom Farbizo.
Nice.
And, it is a first class, really well done. It's a great evening. If you're a sports fan and if you can't make it that night, be sure to check the website and the videos, Percy. Phenomenal stories, and you learn so much, and like, wow. I mean, 2 years ago, there was a gentleman, I think I'm a pretty good historian, as I said, of sports, especially basketball. I know teams back in the 70s and everything, and they were talking about this gentleman that played at TCC and everything else, and I'm like, I never heard of him, which was kind of strange. I mean, he scored like 18 in the NCAA tournament, had like a double-double, and I mean, he was a player now.
Wow.
I mean, there's stories like that all the time.
That's awesome.
So we're looking forward to more of them this summer.
Thank you for choosing Parkway Auto Group. Whether you're looking for a new car, truck, or SUV, or a carefully inspected pre-owned vehicle, we've got you covered. Our finance team makes getting the right loan or lease simple and stress-free. And our commitment doesn't stop at the sale. Our expert service technicians are here to keep your vehicle running smoothly. Visit us today and experience the Parkway Auto difference. Certified by the American Lighting Association, Furbay's Light Shop is your go-to for all lighting needs, residential, commercial, or industrial. Our experts assist with every detail, from bulb size and fixture type to designing layouts. Visit us for hands-on displays showcasing various fixtures, or log in to furbay.com/lightshop. Let us help you visualize the perfect light for your space. Whether you need advice or want to explore lighting options, stop by or log in to Furbay's Light Shop today and see how we can brighten your project.
Altman is here for you, in your community, because you matter. We're proud to be the area's first and only independent health system. We are one team, joined together and committed to one mission, to lead our community to improved health. And we've always been here, dedicated to providing you with the very best in care, wellness, education, insurance, and more. For your community and for your family, Altman is always here for you.
Yeah, well, I want to quickly go through the class.
Yeah.
If you can, go down, because it's like you said, it's a 2-year thing. So there's, it's not a short list.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
So
and I'm going to have to put my reading glasses on. My font's not quite as big as it needs to be, Percy. But what I'd like to do is talk about the nominees. I'll mention the school they're from. And maybe as we go through, if we got time, I could throw out a couple quick little things on a couple of them that I know about. Andy Pentecost Claymont. You heard of him?
Huh. I mean,
he was like almost like in the Olympics for shot and discus. He still holds multiple records, crazy insane. I remember him. He's a few years older than me, but I remember being like in elementary, middle school, and reading all about him.
Okay.
Richard Ronald Claymont, Clyde Arnold from Uricksville, so that represents the whole district. Adam Donahue, Dover.
Yeah.
You know Adam?
Yeah, he was around my brother's age.
Unbelievable. You start looking.
He was really good at tennis, right? No, I'm joking. No, I know he's a good wrestler.
Well, and his cousin's one of my best friends. I'm like, I had no idea. I knew he was good, but when you start to look at his numbers, wow. Yeah. How about this? Ray Mears, Dover. You probably never heard of Ray Mears, okay? He was the head basketball coach at Tennessee.
Wow.
Little tip on that. He may be the guy that you've heard that's responsible for why Tennessee wears Tennessee orange. How about that one?
Really?
Just throw that out there a little bit.
Okay.
Lloyd Krylo at Garraway, Tim Immel at Garraway, Susan Mueller, Troyer from Garraway. Guys that I knew, Larry Huggins, Indian Valley South, okay? Yeah. 1979 graduate, played at Ohio State. Neat story, Terry Deems, Tuscarawas from the Indian Valley District. People said, you need to look at this. Eldon Miller, who went into class in 24, actually said, you guys need to look into him. Eldon coached him at Wittenberg.
Okay.
Unbelievable. Like 1,000-point scorer, 1,000-point rebounder, like 29 a game, rebounds in college. Never did not start a game. Incredible. And I've had the neat part about all these committee members, they get to call the people who got inducted from their district and have conversation, welcome them, tell them all about it.
And that's important. So much that the NFL, when they do their Hall of Fame or the Pro Football Hall of Fame, they have the camera. It's a big thing. It's a big thing. So I bet those calls are awesome.
And I got a number and I called Terry Deems, and we get to talk. And we've since had 2 or 3 conversations, just an absolute delight. He played at Wittenberg, I said, just unbelievable stories. And then he played like pro basketball for like the Akron Wingfoots or something along that lines. Just an unbelievable story, and now I consider a little bit of a friendship.
There we go.
Yeah. Here's one that even though he's on the committee, rightfully deserving, Tom Farbizo.
Okay.
Yeah, just everything he's done for not only New Philadelphia but Tuscarawas County sports. Jeff McIntyre from Newcomerstown, Jamie Welch from Newcomerstown, Brenda McIntyre Williams from Newcomerstown, Paul Drodovic from Denison St. Mary's. How about this? 2 brothers going in at the same time from Strasburg, so they don't have to fight about it. Okay. Travis Dreher and Tyler Dreher, both brothers, played unbelievable in football and they also played basketball. Great careers. Dr. Carol Weinman from Strasburg.
Okay.
Retired professor and longtime coach and athletic director at, I believe, at San Jose State. I believe. If you would ask me 2 weeks ago, I'd remember. But just John Colombo, Tuscarawas Central Catholic, 79 grad. I can remember sitting crisscross applesauce on the stage at Port Washington, watching he and Larry Huggins duel it out.
Really?
Things along those lines. How about George Elford and the Dover Basketeers?
Yes. Yes, I know about
the Basketeers. Unbelievable story there.
I just didn't know how far they traveled. I didn't know they were going over to L.A. and all this stuff. That's
unbelievable.
Crazy.
I actually taught with Mr. Trusdorf, who unfortunately passed away in an accident several years back. He came to me one time to Percy, and he knew I was coaching, and he was a man of very few words. He taught, he went home, he did his thing and everything else. And one time we got to talk about basketball, and he was a member of the Basketeers. And until we started having that conversation, then our relationship just changed from there.
That's awesome.
It was so neat to hear those stories. Then we have teams. We also have some teams that are going in. The 1976 Indian Valley South boys basketball team, state champions.
Win state or something?
The last team in Tuscarawas County to win the boys state championship. 1976. We need one coming up here.
We do.
We need one. Maybe that shot clock will help. The 1915 New Philadelphia boys track team, 1915. We got to get them in there.
Dang, all right.
Okay. How about this one? The 85, 86, 87, 88, because they were all pretty much the same people, almost the same students. The New Philadelphia boys cross country teams.
Okay, I saw that.
I don't think they did not win the state title, but I think they went like 4 years in a row, and pretty much the same type of kids. Unbelievable. Mike Ernst, I think, was one of those members.
Oh wow, okay.
Let me throw you a little three more, okay?
All right.
1928-29.
Oh wow.
Newcomerstown baseball team.
Okay.
You know what they are?
No.
They're one of only 2 teams in Tuscarawas County to win a state baseball championship.
Really?
How about that one?
Was the other team Any Valley?
It was 2009.
Yeah,
and,
right after I left.
2000, and they're just not eligible yet.
Yeah,
They're getting
okay.
close. But how about that?
Dang, that's
28-29, the 1975 Tuscarawas Central Catholic golf team, and the 1972 Tuscarawas Valley Trojans football team. Those are our inductees, our individuals, as well as our teams for the 2026 Hall of Fame class. We're looking forward to it.
That's exciting stuff right there. Okay. Well, and again, congratulations to all those people that are being inducted in 2026. I mean, I guess one last question I have about that is, and it might not even be necessarily a question, but just to have that feeling of like I'm a Hall of Famer is pretty special. And I know people, when you're a kid, you only think about, the Pro Football of Fame or whatever it is, Cooperstown, whatever you think about. But once you perform and you do well at your high school level, and if you're lucky enough to move on,
and
you
very
do your
few
thing.
do, right?
Yes.
The percentage that go on to even college at any level, I think it's like 2 or 3% at the Division III level, let alone what you were able to experience at the pro level.
And the thing I think is just, it's still cool. Like when we had you see Amani Hunter come back and give his speech and it's just like, it's special. So I really want to, give you and, all the people involved kudos just for making it happen, being the ones who were willing to put in the work to make it all possible. And cause it's cool to have something like that. We all love sports. We all love, watching our favorite players. We all have these people that we, idolize, hopefully not too much, but, we look up to them. And I think it's cool because I had those in high school that I was looking up to, and I think it's special. And I'm just glad you guys were able to do it.
I appreciate that. And I know Dover has a Hall of Fame, and I believe one Perci Garner.
I don't know. I know I'm eligible now.
Okay,
I think according to
there's
my
a
age,
plug. Where's let me get right to the camera. This young man right here, I'm going to put a plug in for Perci Garner. Great athlete, but also keep in mind a great humanitarian, has become a great leader for people in our county. So I appreciate that. And I think it is a big deal. One of the things making those calls, the 76 team has been getting back together to as they're getting to that point.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose. I think 2 teammates have deceased. Everyone else is still alive.
Okay.
So it's been fun. It was really neat. I got to go down to Amici's Pizza, and they were all there, and I got to kind of announce it to them and gather
that's
some.
so cool.
And it was so neat. And some of them, it's a big deal for them. Some of them, it's like, because it was 1976. But and the reality of it is, it's about not only celebrating them, but celebrating it for their families, their community. That's what makes it really special. So our committee, and I'm just blessed to be a part of it, just a small little piece of it. But things like this do nothing but help. I mean, we gather those names, Percy. Let's have a lot of fun with it. It's a great night. I hope you're able to make it.
Yeah. I mean, it's something I'm going to definitely mark down in the calendar.
I appreciate it.
I got some reunions and stuff, and we got the 2016 World Series Cleveland Indians 10 years.
Oh my
10
gosh.
years. So that'll be
how about that?
Second week of May, I think the 14th and 15th.
So right there, just another opportunity, right, to connect. I always say relationships determine results.
Yep.
And I would bet each and every one of these people that are going to this Hall of Fame, whether it be an individual or team, none of them got there alone, right? All of them had people that supported them along the way, drove them wherever they need to be, provided something for them. And boy, these are the best of the best in our county, and they're joining in an electric group of who's already in there. I encourage everyone to go to the website, look to see and just jog your memory and think, man, I remember that, or I didn't know that. That's the real.
That's the big one that I'll be looking at the list definitely to make sure, because I know most of the Dover people, but I'm educating myself more on other schools, because it was just not too long ago that I learned about Gary Watkins from Claymont.
Incredible player, played against him. Yeah,
and
he was a tough guard.
Yeah,
he was tough to guard.
I gotta know these things. These are something I should just know. So I'm on a mission to do that, and I encourage everybody else to do that. But yeah, June 20th, make sure you put in your calendars, because I'm all about digital calendars, so it's gonna be in mine.
I like it.
But I did want to, go into, well, did we cover everything we wanted to cover with
I think so. Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
And I did want to go into, being the parent of, athletes, and especially being an athlete yourself. But I think, we've been going, it's a good episode. So I want to make sure we save that for the next episode. But again, thank you for, coming. I want to make sure, we put a lot of this information down in the description. So if you're wondering and looking around, you can find them on Facebook. But if you're here watching the show now and you want to learn more about the Tuscarawas County Sports Hall of Fame, we'll have their link to their website and their Facebook in the description. And so no excuse, I missed it. No, June 20th, 2026. You heard the class. A lot of people that there is some older teams that maybe some you might not know from 1915 and 1928, but for the most part, even, I'm assuming some of those people might have relatives who are accepting the reward.
Yes.
So there's always some kind of connection, and that's cool when it's also somebody accepting the reward or whatever, when the team and you see them come together. And
no question.
I think that's real dope that you talked to, like, the 1976 team, you're still getting together.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. A lot of my friends, a lot of experiences are made from, sport teams, and I think it's important. I always harp on this show. People are probably tired of me always saying how, sports makes you, a better person in life later on. So
there's so many lessons learned, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's the lessons that are learned that are applied later. These are the cream of the crop. These are so deserving of people. But I would bet to a fault, many of those, the lessons they learned through sports have also made them successful in life.
For sure. Well, Frank, it's always nice having you.
Percy, it's always my pleasure.
Yeah, we need to schedule the next time you're coming here.
Let's do it. Yeah, we'll get that snow out of the way, too.
Yeah, true. We'll make sure that's gone before we get you in here. Kudos to Frank for walking in here with snow all the way up to his kneecaps. But
all good.
He figured it out. We made it here, and we were able to get this show to you. So, again, thank you for coming. We appreciate it. We really want you guys to tune in. If you're not able to make it June 20th, like he said, check the website. They got the list. They'll have videos as well. And I know who does the videos. They do a good job. So it'll be top notch. But I encourage everyone to, if you know somebody that's being inducted, reach out, tell them congratulations, or if you see them out in the community. Other than that, we appreciate all the support. You always show Big Time Sports. And we're gonna continue to bring the stream, the live streams, the content that you guys want, whether it's sports or controversial stuff on the Facebook. I see some of those. I see you people out there making comments, but no, at the end of the day, it's all love, and sports most of the time brings us together. So continue to leave feedback for me. If there's someone that you want me to bring on the show, put it down below, and I'll see what I can do. But without further ado, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.